All right, let's talk about how 90s singer Toni Braxton, who was super duper fine and still super duper fine today, broke up one of the more younger, promising cores in NBA that never really reached their potential because of a little story about her. And that was the three J's from the Dallas Mavericks: Jimmy Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, and J.Kidd. Jackson was from Ohio State. Kidd was in the Bay Area. I think he went to Cal Berkeley. And Jamal Mashburn came from Kentucky. They was at least 25 years younger. And a lot of people forget that J.Kidd had an original first stint with Dallas before he went back and won the championship with Dirk and Mark Cuban and them. But let's talk a little bit about how Braxton kind of broke up the young core, or that is the story that goes around. Make sure that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. Share the video, right? Want to make a donation to the channel. That link's in the description. That's why donate. Share the video. All right, so they was all 25 years under. Dallas had a promising team. You know what I'm saying? And cut to the chase. All right, Toni Braxton was supposed to go out with J.Kidd. She ended up going out with Jimmy Jackson instead and spinning Kidd. So it caused a schism in the locker room. And then when she was asked about it on the Dallas radio show, she said, "You never kiss and tell," which, you know, what Jimmy and Jason could say, it never happened. But she came out there and said, "You never kiss and tell," and left the door open in Dallas on the radio station for people to believe it to be true. You know, so basically, you know, they went at each other and they couldn't coexist over Toni Braxton when it's like 1,000 Toni Braxtons out at the time. I mean, in the 90s, you had Dina Howard, you had, you know, Janet Jackson, you had Mary J. Blige. You had a lot of beautiful singers going throughout the 90s, and just this the ones I could just remember off top. And they was fighting over this one. Now, Toni Braxton was one of the finest ones out there. You know what I'm saying? They both was young. They both thought they was the shit. And it probably translated to a little bit of ownership issues on the court, which Jimmy might have thought he was the best one. He was the one that he was the straw that made the shake stir. And J.Kidd probably thought he was that dude. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, she may not have been the primary reason why, but they might have been in some type of competition on who team it was, like Shaq and Kobe. Shaq wanted to be his team. Kobe wanted to be his team. You know, they shipped Shaq out, and Kobe got to prove that he can carry a franchise. So they may not come out and say it was over Toni Braxton. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the Toni Braxton thing was kind of pretty much a representation of, in my opinion, who team it was, who was the better guy. You know what I'm saying? And when they got to arguing over there, I think Toni Braxton, she just really destroyed them after that. You know, that whole situation. But you know, with dudes that's getting money like that, or dudes in general, it's a bravado thing. You know, I got it like that type of thing. And two things that break up cool dudes is money and women. Really, it's something outside of those things, man. It's money and women. And you know, Toni Braxton, like I said, she was one of the baddest ones in the 90s. So you really can't get mad at them. But they can say it wasn't because of her, but I think she was just a representation of, it was a power struggle there. You know, unless you get one of those selfless situations. You had Stephon Marbury, Kevin Garnett. Marbury wanted to be the number one dude in Minnesota. He didn't want to be number two to KG in Minnesota, so he wanted to go elsewhere to prove his worth. You know, and a lot of dudes want to be number one. Nobody want to be number two. Nobody want to be the sidekick. Nobody want to play their role. And, you know, that's the problem, you know, most teams, or most basketball teams. You know, nobody want to be a player two ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they traded J.Kidd to Phoenix. You know how that turned out. He ended up getting traded. He did well in Phoenix. They made some playoff runs. They lost to the Lakers 1 year. And then he got traded from Phoenix for Stephon Marbury to Jersey. And obviously, Stephon Marbury from Minnesota got traded to Jersey, I think it was, or however it went. And Marbury went to Phoenix, and Kidd went to Jersey. He made a few finals appearances with Kerry Kittles, Richard Jefferson. They got beat by, I think, the Lakers 1 year. But they had a little dope squad. Ken Martin. Jimmy Jackson really didn't go on to do shit. And Jamal Mashburn, you know, he had an okay career. But now, you know, he's swimming in money because he invested into like Burger King or whatever, McDonald's. He's a fast food restaurant chain. So he did right with his money. Real smart brother. Jimmy Jackson, you catch him on Fox Sports or the Big Ten Network. I think he was on there at one point. I'm not sure if he's still on there. But at the end of the day, dudes with a lot of money, they still can't put their pride aside and make it work. But you move on. They was all young. I know if they had a chance to do it over again, they would do it over again. But you wondered if they stayed together, how good they could have been. Same thing with with Marbury and Kevin Garnett. Same thing with Shaq and Kobe. What if they could have kept going? But it's a bravado thing. It's a power struggle. It wasn't just about Toni Braxton. It was about who had it like that. Who was the guy in Dallas? But to go on, Jason Kidd went on to be a legend. Jimmy Jackson went on just to be an average NBA player. And pretty much Jason Kidd proved that he was that guy. Hey, but don't forget to check out our NBA Retro playlist. This is what the playlist is going on. We got a few videos in there. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Want to make a donation to the channel? That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. And check out our NBA Retro playlist for more videos like this. We gone.